I found out my dad's secret. He's gay. It all started when my dad had issues with his mobile payment app. He asked me to link his bank card to it, so he handed me his phone. As he gave it to me, I noticed he seemed a bit nervous. I casually swiped around, just to get a feel for it, and suddenly I stumbled upon a gay dating app. At that moment, my world fell apart. I was in complete shock. My hands started shaking as I clicked on the app, quickly noting down his ID before shutting off the phone and handing it back. I then bolted to my room, my heart racing. Despite knowing it was wrong, I created a fake profile on the app and searched for his ID. I sent him a message, bluntly asking, "Are you a top or a bottom?" As soon as I sent it, I shut off my phone, dreading his reply. Part of me hoped he had downloaded the app by mistake and wasn't really aware of its purpose. But soon, his reply came, "I'm a bottom." I shut off my phone again, not wanting to see anything more. For the next 2 days, I was in a state of utter turmoil. I felt like my entire life had been a lie. The family I grew up in, my very existence, felt like a joke. I started questioning my own identity, feeling like a mistake, an unwanted accident. 2 days later, curiosity got the better of me. I wanted to understand why he was gay, so I logged back into the app, still under my fake profile, hoping for more conversation. He had sent another message saying he could also be a top. My initial reaction was, "What a joke." I ignored him, but then he sent a picture of his genitals, taken against the backdrop of my parents' bed sheets. The sight of our familiar bedspread juxtaposed with his nakedness was deeply jarring. In that moment, the image of my dad, the father I had known and loved, collapsed. I immediately logged out and deleted the app. For the next few days, I was in a daze, conflicted and deeply disturbed. I wanted to talk to him, but I couldn't bring myself to. Whenever I saw him, I felt a mixture of anger and betrayal. I resented him for deceiving us for so long, yet he continued to show his love and care as if nothing had happened. Looking back, I always sensed my dad was different from other dads, or at least different from the traditional father figure. For instance, he was always meticulous about his appearance, both his and mine. He made sure we always looked our best. He was tall, around 6 feet, and people often said he looked like a celebrity. I was proud of how handsome he was and always preferred him to attend my school events. It made me feel special in front of my classmates. Unlike the typical silent and strong dad, my dad was talkative and deeply involved in my life. When I was applying to college, I was under immense pressure. One day, he visited me and, seeing how much weight I had lost, shared his own struggles with depression and hospital stays, even breaking down in tears. He told me he didn't want me to suffer like he did. This deeply touched me, especially since my mom wasn't very expressive of her love. Up until the phone incident, I had a very close bond with my dad, but discovering his secret made me question everything. I thought I was pretty accepting of homosexuality. I understood it was normal and had no problem with it in theory, but when it came to my own father, it was different. For 3 years after discovering his secret, I felt oppressed and rarely went home. When I did, I couldn't resist bringing up gay topics, testing his reactions. One day, during a visit home, I mentioned a gay friend and my dad asked, "What will your gay friend do about marriage?" I retorted sarcastically, "He won't get married. He won't deceive someone." My dad's response left me speechless. Why not get married? You can fake it in bed. It was then I realized his views on marriage and deception. Eventually, I realized the real reason for my anger. He had deceived my mom into marriage. Over the years, I had overlooked my mom's feelings. Did she not notice my dad didn't love her? Was she blind to his lack of affection? On family outings, he always walked ahead, leaving my mom trailing behind. I used to think all couples were like that, but later I realized other parents showed affection and shared little jokes, something mine never did. I often contemplated telling my mom about my dad, but I feared it would devastate her and destroy our family. I wasn't sure if she could handle it, or if it would bring her more pain. My dad often forgot important dates like Valentine's Day or my mom's birthday. So, the night before her birthday, I reminded him, The next morning, I wished her a happy birthday and returned to my room. Later, I heard them arguing. My dad claimed he had said happy birthday, but my mom thought he was lying. Watching their argument, my pent-up resentment boiled over. I confronted him, fueled by years of suppressed anger. "You have no right to treat her this way," I said, hinting at his secret. He challenged me to say what I knew. My mom, caught off guard, thought he was simply unfaithful, something she might have been willing to forgive. My dad stormed out, but later messaged me, expressing regret and hinting at suicidal thoughts. Despite my anger, I reassured him, fearing he might harm himself. His confession, though indirect, acknowledged his mistakes. That night, he returned with a cake and some money for my mom. We ate the cake in awkward silence, my mom oblivious to the undercurrents between my dad and me. In some ways, I felt relieved to have confronted him, but I also felt guilty for keeping the truth from my mom. I decided to stop testing him and instead openly discussed his secret with him. My only regret was deceiving my mom, yet I felt I had no better choice.